Silverstone and Nigel Mansell's superb victory there, the Grand Prix teams have reassembled here at Hockenheim for the halfway stage of the 16-round World Championship, today's German Grand Prix. Like Silverstone, Hockenheim is flat and very fast, and after intermittent rain, including a very heavy downpour today, all is well for the start of the 44-lap race, with the Drivers' World Championship poised on a knife edge and only 5 points separating the top four. Ayrton Senna leads, with Nigel Mansell and Nelson Piquet tying for second, only 1 point behind, with world champion Alain Prost fourth, and any one of them could win the championship. In the Constructors' Championship, there are really only 4 teams in it. Williams are a massive 21 points ahead of McLaren, with Lotus third, Ferrari fourth, and Arrows fifth, a long way behind. The German Grand Prix is the halfway point of the Grand Prix season. And here at Hockenheim, the talk in the paddock is the fact that world champion Alain Prost has signed for another 2 years with McLaren.
I feel very comfortable. It's at the moment very, very difficult for me to leave this team. And even when I talk to another team, I can feel that I really don't want to leave.
1962, the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, and Graham Hill is the winner. But another significant thing is that Jack Brabham drives there for the first time in a car of his own construction, in which he subsequently went on to gain his 3rd World Championship. But the pit lane word is that Bernie Ecclestone, who bought the team 17 years ago, is selling out. True or false?
I think they're rumours.
You think they're rumours?
Yeah.
But you're not saying for sure?
I've not heard of them, so they must be rumours.
Such is the pace of modern development that after only 7 Grand Prix here in Germany, this could be the last time you'll see this distinctive Lotus shape. Because quite frankly, Lotus cannot keep up with the superior aerodynamics of the Williams team. In Hungary, they will be introducing a new body shape. We will be there to see it and to tell you about it. Now, here's a question for you enthusiasts who know your Grand Prix racing. Which is the driver who has completed the most racing laps this season? This man, Ayrton Senna, who leads the World Championship? No. This man, Nelson Piquet, who has finished second 5 times? No. This man, Nigel Mansell, who has won the most Grand Prix? No. It is this man, Pascal Fabre, who in his 3.5-litre AGS has finished every race uniquely. Pascal, congratulations. Pascal Fabre isn't last on the grid today. He's 25th out of 26. And at the other end, pole position, it's Nigel Mansell for the 6th time in 8 races this year. Second on the grid, Ayrton Senna in the Lotus Honda. Third is Alain Prost, the world champion, and 4th, Nelson Piquet. 5th is Michele Alboreto, 6th, Thierry Boutsen in the Benetton, 7th, Andrea De Cesaris, and 8th, Stefan Johansson. Derek Warwick is 13th, Martin Brundle is 19th, Jonathan Palmer is 23rd on the grid. And the fastest 3.5-litre car is that of Philippe Alliot, the Frenchman, who is 21st. So the 2 lines of cars are ready. It is 44 laps. And it's go! And Mansell drags a bit. Senna takes the lead. Prost goes up past him. And Mansell is in 3rd position with Ayrton Senna leading round the first right-hander, with Alain Prost sprinting up from 3rd on the grid to 2nd in the race. And as you can see, Martin Brundle there has been left at the start in the Zach speed, and it's Senna leading. And now the Williams comes up and retakes Alain Prost, who's back again down to 3rd.
Yes, and there we see immediately the Williams Mansell demonstrating the power of the Honda engine, because he made a poor start, but and Prost was ahead of him into the first corner, but as soon as they got onto the straight, Mansell was able to power past back into second place, so he's recovered one from his start. There's Capelli, who started from the pit road. He'll be on fairly cold tyres. You saw his car sliding about then, because they won't have had the benefit of a warm-up lap.
And round the Ost curve, down to the 170 mile an hour and up to 200 mile an hour straight. It's still Senna leading, Mansell second, Prost third, Piquet fourth. And now it is through the second chicane. They're doing 190 miles an hour as they come down towards the stadium, where they come into sight of these vast concrete grandstands, which can hold, when they're full, 100,000 people. There is Stefan Johansson, that's Berger, and as they come into the stadium turn, round the Sachs curve, up to the Opel curve, the right-hander, it's still Senna, and this is the spare car which he set up in practice in completing lap one, leading Mansell and Prost.
Yes, Senna and Prost will be very keen to set up a fast pace early in the race. And Mansell, Nigel Mansell has powered past Ayrton Senna on the straight. The power of the Honda engine once again telling. Of course, Senna has the same, but the Lotus would appear to have to run a lot more aerodynamic downforce. But as I was saying, Prost and Senna will be keen to try and hurry the Williams cars in the early part of the race, because the Williams cars were blistering rear tyres in practice, and if they're put under pressure, they could do that. The Mansell and Piquet will be having to restrain themselves and not be pushed into rushing too much early on when the tyres are susceptible to blistering.
Lap two in the super-fast German Grand Prix. Nigel Mansell, behind him Senna, behind him third is Prost, then the second Williams Honda of Nelson Piquet, through the chicane 2, now down towards the stadium again. You can see the right-hander in the top right corner of your screen. And Prost comes out from behind Ayrton Senna, gives it a boost, and through up into second place. The McLaren certainly looks good here, and there's a roar of applause from the crowd. And coming through to complete lap 2 out of 44, it is Nigel Mansell coming into the start and finish straight with 42 laps to go in the lead. Alain Prost looking good behind him, the world champion, and he's gaining ground.
And as expected, Nelson Piquet moves past Ayrton Senna, so Piquet up into third place. Alain Prost splitting the two Williamses, and he looks quite comfortable at the moment. His big problem, though, of course, is going to be later in the race, if he's in a position to do so, is how to pass the Williamses, because they, as usual, have a clear straight line speed advantage, which makes overtaking very difficult indeed. So Mansell goes through, followed by Prost. Piquet now up to third place. Senna struggling a bit. Remember, Ayrton Senna is in the spare car. We don't know what was wrong with his race car. He came out for the warming up lap in that. The Ferrari pressing Senna hard, so Senna is looking like going backwards down the field.
Yes, it's Michele Alboreto looking better than he has looked for a long time, challenging Ayrton Senna for fourth position with Piquet up to third. Prost is second. There is the race leader, Nigel Mansell, coming through to complete lap 3. It is Williams leading, McLaren second, Williams third, Lotus fourth. There's the Scarlet Ferrari in fifth position, and Boutsen in the Benetton is now coming up very well indeed. So there is Mansell first, Prost second, Piquet third, Senna fourth, and Boutsen has taken Michele Alboreto. So Thierry Boutsen is up into fifth place ahead of Michele Alboreto, and the Ford engine is obviously using all that extra horsepower. Mansell the leader, Prost second, Piquet third, Senna fourth, Boutsen fifth, Alboreto sixth, and Stefan Johansson is in seventh place. Gerhard Berger is in eighth position. De Cesaris is ninth, Farby is 10th, Derek Warwick is 11th, and Eddie Cheever is in 12th position. And Philippe Alliot is leading the 3.5 litre category, ahead of Philippe Streff and Jonathan Palmer, and Alliot is 18th. Arnoux comes into the pits. René Arnoux, the Frenchman, who had a very checkered practice period with all sorts of problems, but not nearly as bad as Ghinzani, who blew 3 engines, and Riccardo Patrese is coming into the pits as well in the Brabham. There he is. There is the Italian, Riccardo Patrese, the man who's won 2 Grand Prix in his career, but he's not going to make it 3 here today.
Alboreto has taken Boutsen for 5th place, so he's repassed him and he's looking to catch. And there is Alboreto just coming to the picture in the background. And Alboreto, who we said before was very quick in the warm-up this morning, looks as if he's going to be able to close on the leading group. So at long last, we appear to have a Grand Prix where the leading runners are pretty evenly matched. Prost looks very comfortable in 2nd place. I don't think he'll be trying to get the lead now, even if he feels he can. He's got an advantage. He'll be conserving fuel because he's already shown that, or the Williamses have shown that they've got a big straight line speed advantage, and if he starts trying to pass Mansell at the moment, all he's going to do is waste fuel and physical effort, and I doubt whether he'll be able to do it, and he'll know that. So there goes Senna, and there's Alboreto just coming into the picture in the background, and he seems to have got away a little bit from Boutsen, so he can concentrate on Senna as his immediate target ahead of him.
Lap 7, and as you look at the first 4, the significant thing is that Michele Alboreto has not only taken Boutsen in 5th position, but is hanging on there in the Ferrari and not dropping back from this battle. And Prost now is definitely challenging Nigel Mansell on lap 7 out of 44. What a magnificent picture this is as Prost challenges. He's pushing Mansell very hard indeed as they come up into the stadium to complete lap 7. Alain Prost with his front wing tucked almost under the gearbox of Mansell's Williams going for the lead.
Yes, and Mansell chose to defend the lead there by going over to the right-hand side of the track, covering the inside line into the stadium. So it looks like we've got a real race on our hands here. Prost will not want to pass Mansell here, because if he does, the power of the Honda engine will just carry Mansell straight back past him. But now, Prost is in the tow. Piquet is lurking, ready to pick up any aggravation. You see the cars following the line, just snaking after the others, keeping the tow, and Mansell again taking the inside, but Prost has gone past him, and Alain Prost goes through to take the lead.
On lap 8 out of 44, the Frenchman was seen by a lot of people here as the favourite, and he's showing terrific form. I think Mansell is not happy with the handling of his car. He broke an under tray in the warm-up this morning. They had to dismantle a lot of the car to replace it. The car was bottoming heavily on this bumpy circuit, as was Piquet's car. But now, look at Alain Prost, who is very clearly entirely happy about his situation. There are the top 4 men in the World Championship. It's Prost leading, Mansell second, Piquet third, Senna there in the yellow Lotus in 4th position. Michele Alboreto is 5th in the Ferrari. Boutsen is 6th in the Benetton. Johansson is 7th. Berger in the Ferrari is 8th. De Cesaris is in 9th place. Farby is 10th. Warwick is 11th. And Cheever is 12th as they come into the stadium again.
There's Arnoux back in the pits again, so that's his 2nd visit. So obviously an unhappy and ineffective afternoon for René Arnoux.
1.5 seconds covers the first 4. The leader, Alain Prost, through to the 4th place man Senna, and there is Piquet 3rd. I was talking this morning to Hans Metzger, who is the Porsche engine designer, and he said we have 3 new engines here today for the McLaren team, for Prost and Johansson. we have made marginal alterations. The problem was that they had severe engine vibrations as a result of an out-of-balance factor, which has been corrected. There is Capelli out of the race, the man who started from the pit lane in his 3.5 litre march and has now run his German Grand Prix. Eddie Cheever has gone into the pits.
There is Nakajima from the car coming into the pits. And we think that Nakajima and Cheever may have had a little bit of a coming together. So an unscheduled pit stop for Nakajima.
And Alboreto has dropped back up into 5th place, has gone Thierry Boutsen. Up into 6th has gone Johansson. Up into 7th has gone De Cesaris, because Michele Alboreto in the Ferrari, who had hoped for so much from this German Grand Prix, is there in the pit lane. And it must be for more than tyres. They will change the tyres as a precaution, which doesn't mean to say that they're worn out. It means that he is going to be in the pits for over the 10 seconds or so that it takes to change them. But there is something amiss with the Ferrari that is nothing to do with tyres. And now on lap 11, which is exactly quarter distance in this 44-lap race, Alain Prost leads Nigel Mansell. There he is by less than a second. Those two are pulling away a bit. They are now 3 seconds approximately ahead of Piquet, who has got Senna right behind him in 4th position. Boutsen is 5th, and the second McLaren of Stefan Johansson is in 6th position. You should see him come round the corner. Well, you just missed him as Senna passes one of the arrows and is now setting about trying to take Nelson Piquet, but seemingly without success. This is the stadium section coming through to complete lap 11. That is Piquet in 3rd position. Ahead of him is Mansell.
Yes, sadly the leading four seem to have split really into 2 pairs. Prost and Mansell opening up a little bit of a gap now of some 4 seconds to Piquet and Senna. And there is Michele Alboreto. And what a great shame that Ferrari, or Alboreto at least, is out of the race so early on, when at long last Ferrari just seemed to be a lot more competitive than they've been really for some years now.
And out of the race goes De Cesaris. So Andrea De Cesaris once again fails to finish a Grand Prix. He's only finished once this year. It's his 7th retirement in 8 races. The Italian gets out, takes the steering wheel with him, which you need to take the steering wheel off in order to get out of the car, gives it a quizzical look, and he's telling the fire marshal to be ready. You see, the point is that the turbocharger is still white hot. It runs at some 1100 degrees, the turbocharger, and it can very easily set fire to the carbon fibre bodywork if it is not cooled down. Now we are on lap 18. As ever, cars will be stopping to change tyres, and it will happen any time between, and into the pits goes Johansson. As I was saying it, Johansson goes in on his 18th lap for a tyre stop of just 8.2 seconds and a delayed getaway. But meantime, Teo Fabi has gone up into 7th place ahead of Berger, and they've probably both got past Stefan Johansson. We'll see.
I think that was probably a tactical move by McLaren there to bring Johansson in first so that they could have a look at his tyres. I don't know what went wrong there with the pit stop. Johansson appeared to set off and then get stopped, still working on the car. But back to the leader, Alain Prost. So the McLaren team will now be examining Johansson's tyres very carefully to see if the information they get from the wear can influence their instructions to Prost about when he stops. And there is the McLaren team. They've just unwrapped the tyres from their heaters for Prost's car, and I'm sure that Prost ought to change either this lap or the next. I reckon a delay would be a disadvantage, but he's not. He's staying out. No, he's in. So Alain Prost into the pits for his routine tyre change, and the timing, to me, would seem to be just about perfect. So Mansell inherits the lead.
Nigel Mansell takes the lead, and let's see how long Alain Prost takes. Nigel Mansell pulling away, of course, but he will have to come in later to change his tyres. And that's a... No, it's not. What has happened? Prost stops. It was only 6.7 seconds from start to stop, and then he stopped again. He hit the jack. That's what happened to Alain Prost, and Senna is still in 4th position. And something is amiss with Gerhard Berger's Ferrari. There's the confirmation as boom goes Gerhard Berger's engine, and out of the race goes the second Ferrari to join Michele Alboreto, who retired early on. And Piquet is coming into the pits now to make his pit stop. This is the first of the 2 Williams cars. He was in 3rd position.
So Prost is now 18 seconds behind Mansell. A very good stop by the Williams team. Once again, Piquet powering out of the pits on his fresh tyres.
Lap 22, half distance. Nigel Mansell leads. Prost is 2nd. Senna is 3rd. Boutsen is in 4th place. Nelson Piquet is in 5th position, and Stefan Johansson completes the World Championship points scorers. And there you can see Piquet catching Boutsen, going on the inside as they come into the right-hander down towards this tremendously fast section. Here's the battle between the Tyrrells, with Jonathan Palmer ahead of Philippe Streff, followed by Senna, who is about to lap them both, and Piquet is past Boutsen and up into 4th position. And into the pits comes Mansell. Nigel Mansell right over the curve there. He was leading by 18 seconds at the end of the previous lap. Stop! Wheel the impact wrenches, undo the nuts, the pneumatic impact wrenches, and that's not a bad one, and Prost has taken the lead. Alain Prost is back in the lead as Nigel Mansell sprints out in 2nd place. What a race!
Yes, and Prost a substantial lead. We'll have to wait till they come round again. You see Prost powering away down the straight, see Mansell in the background, but it will be at least 5 seconds. And Prost will be very happy with that.
As we look down the track for, in 3rd position, the yellow Lotus of Senna, who is coming into the pits. Ayrton Senna is coming into the pits in 3rd position, so Piquet goes up into 3rd place. There is Piquet, who has lapped Campos as Senna stops now. There he is behind the yellow umbrellas. He's directly opposite us, the Brazilian. This is a good pit stop. 8.2 seconds for Ayrton Senna. And Boutsen, meantime, has been into the pits to change his tyres. And on lap 24, it's Prost leading. It is Mansell 2nd. It's Piquet up into 3rd position. Down to 4th place goes Ayrton Senna. In 5th position now, it's Thierry Boutsen, and still 6th is Stefan Johansson. In the 3.5 litre class, Jonathan Palmer is now leading Streff, with Alio in 3rd position in that category. They are both on the same lap, and Jonathan Palmer is 11th overall in the race. And Palmer, if he finishes this race, could well be in the points by the time he does so.
Mansell pulled nearly a second on Alain Prost then. The gap is down to 3 seconds, and Nigel Mansell is clearly turning it on. He's hot foot after Prost, and he's catching him.
Nigel Mansell fighting back magnificently on lap 25. And across the circuit, I look at a flaming, quite literally, it's in flames. There is Derek Warwick's arrows. Derek Warwick is once again going to fail to finish a race. He's had 6 failures to finish already, and he's turned off. He's seen the fire in his mirrors, and of course, and he's gone straight to the marshals.
Yes, I think he probably would have felt that. It gets pretty warm in the cockpit in that situation. But he drove it to the marshal's post, where they got extinguishers to hand, and looks as if the German marshals, and probably with the help of some British marshals who come over for this race, put that far out. Mansell has crossed well in sight.
Yeah, and Boutsen not only has Senna well in his sights, but he's passed him. As you look at the McLaren.
Mansell has crossed well in sight.
Yeah, and Boutsen not only has Senna well in his sights, but he's passed him. As you look at the McLaren going through, now wait for the Williams of Nigel Mansell in second place. Piquet is in third place. Senna is coming into the pits again, and Senna, of course, was in fourth position, but has now been taken by Boutsen. Here is Ayrton Senna, who was in fourth position. And the seconds ticking away. So, out goes Senna. I don't know why he stopped there. For under 6 seconds, whatever the reason.
And Mansell's gone missing. I didn't see Mansell come through. And Mansell is just coming into the stadium. He's limping.
There's Mansell, hand up, and he's about to be taken. He is taken by Nelson Piquet. The Brazilian moves up into second place as off the circuit goes 3 times winner this year, Nigel Mansell, out of the German Grand Prix.
There's a big disappointment for Nigel Mansell. You see one of the Minardis billowing smoke, barking, so that's Nannini, and it certainly is beginning to look as if this middle stage of the race is taking its toll mechanically. But big disappointment for Nigel Mansell after its 2 superb races in France and Great Britain.
The one consolation is that he's got not only the fastest lap in the German Grand Prix, but a new lap record. Mansell went round in 1 minute 45.7 as Boutsen comes into the pits and Senna yet again into the pits. Well, I wonder how many cars are going to finish this German Grand Prix, because now Stefan Johansson is up into third position in the second of the McLarens as a new nose goes on Ayrton Senna's Lotus. So Boutsen went into the pits with Senna, but now it looks as though he's definitely out of the race. Is the man who is in second place, Nelson Piquet, and as you can see, he's nearly 38 seconds behind Prost, which means to say that Alain can turn the boost down and drive very conservatively indeed. In third position, still on the same lap as Prost, is Stefan Johansson, and in fourth position, but lapped, it is Ayrton Senna. Fifth now is Ginzani, and up into the points has come Philippe Streff in sixth position in the Tyrrell, a superb performance. Seventh is Jonathan Palmer, and Prost has got it all made, provided he just keeps going.
Senna's got some sort of mechanical trouble. His engine's a bit smoky, but we've seen him in the pits twice since his scheduled tyre stop, and this race has really taken its toll mechanically. We've got only 8 or 9 cars still running, and considering that it's not a very hot day here, and that is Alio, it's Ginzani in the Ligier, and Ginzani was having a tremendous run. His race appears to be coming to an end. The marshal's just pushing the car out of the way to try and get it to a safe spot.
And that means, of course, that with the unfortunate Ginzani again failing to finish, as he has done in most of the races in which he's driven in his career, up into fifth place comes Streff, and up into the points comes Palmer.
There's Frank Williams. Well, I don't suppose he'll be too disappointed. Streff and Palmer once again, of course, battling for the lead of the 3.5 litre category. You see how nimble those 3.5 litre cars are around the corners. Remember, they have a lower weight limit than the turbo cars. They're allowed to be some 40 kilos lighter, which is enough to make a noticeable difference in the cornering power. But of course, when they get to the straights, they've got they can't really hold a candle to the turbocharged cars. Well, there's Nelson Piquet, and is substantially behind Alain Prost. To be exact, 17.2 seconds, and with only 5 laps to go, he's got no chance of catching that. His one chance is that Prost should run into some sort of mechanical bother. But Prost, from half distance onwards, has been able to nurse the car, look after it, doesn't need to run the engine at high power outputs or use a lot of fuel. And tremendous, and there's Alain Prost, and Prost has run into the mechanical trouble.
Or has he run out of fuel? This is sensational. Alain Prost is coasting, and Alain Prost is out of the German Grand Prix and the lead on lap 40. And that means to say that Nelson Piquet will be going up into the lead and to win his first Grand Prix of 1987, provided he finishes. A sensational development. Alain Prost, the winner in Belgium and the winner in Brazil, bitterly retires, as he did last year in Germany. I find it hard to believe that it's for the same reason, because if he's run out of fuel on the 40th lap in this 44-lap race, there was some bad misjudgment somewhere, and there are the McLaren team.
No, it can't be fuel at this stage unless they've had a leak or some major problem with the engine management system. They've had a lot of electrical trouble this year. Prost is having a look around the instrument panel, which makes one think that maybe it is electrical. And here is Nelson Piquet now. We'll slow it right down. He is a long, long way. He's over a minute, nearly a minute and a half in front of Stefan Johansson, who of course has moved up into second place.
In third position now then is Ayrton Senna. Fourth is Philippe Streff. Fifth is Jonathan Palmer. And I'm wondering if we're going to get 6 points finishers the way things are going at the present moment, because Philippe Alliot, who is officially running 6th at the present moment, is running slowly and behind in over 2 laps behind. And there's poor Alain Prost. Mentally ruminating over the victory that was so very nearly his.
The story of this race really has been the tremendous mechanical carnage. We've got, well, Alliot placed in 6th there, but he's limping. There he goes, just through the picture.
That's Alan Chalice on the right, the chief mechanic of the Williams team. Sheridan Finn is behind the wheelchair of Frank Williams.
I can't remember a Grand Prix for the last 2 or 3 years where just by being in the race you automatically get a point, because there are only 6 people still left running in the race.
And now Nelson Piquet is into the stadium. He is approaching the Opel curve for the 44th and last time, finishing and winning the German Grand Prix, touring across the line very slowly indeed. So, victory for Nelson Piquet. And Johansson, was there something wrong? There's something, he's got a puncture. Johansson is coming in with the tyre off the right front wheel in his car to complete the distance, and he's going to complete the distance in 2nd place on the brake disc. Look at him. This is absolutely unbelievable. Stefan Johansson out of the last corner. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen, but a race which has sensationally seen Nelson Piquet win his first Grand Prix of 1987 has seen Stefan Johansson finish on the rim in 2nd place on the same lap. Ayrton Senna in 3rd place but lapped. Philippe Streff 4th, Palmer 5th and Alliot 6th, respectively finishing 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the 3.5 litre category in a race to remember. That means to say that Nelson Piquet, driving home with Alain Prost on the side pod of his car, now leads the World Championship at halfway point. He leads Ayrton Senna, who is 2nd, by 4 points, with Nigel Mansell in 3rd position. World champion Alain Prost is 4th, Stefan Johansson is 5th, and Gerhard Berger is 6th. Williams still lead the Constructors' Championship, of course, very substantially ahead of 2nd place McLaren. 3rd is Lotus, 4th is Ferrari, and in 5th position now are the 3.5-litre Tyrrells ahead of the British Arrows team, who are 6th.
And I think it was my luck day, because everything was wrong all day, all week, and today everything came 9 points.
Did you see Nigel Mansell was out as well?
Yeah, I saw he's coming slow. I don't know what's happened to him yet. I know he's coming slow to the pits.
But what's significant is that although there was a high attrition rate here, I see that Philippe and I are both only 1 lap behind the leaders. So it just shows you that the actual pace that the normally aspirated cars are running is not that slow either.
Well, in 2 weeks' time, round 9 is in Hungary. And if it is half as good as Britain and Germany were, it is going to be another race not to miss on Grand Prix.